something serious is happening with Pi Network, and if you're involved in this ecosystem, you've probably already felt the shift. The price of Pi has taken another blow, dropping to $0.469, coming alarmingly close to its all-time low. For those who have been with Pi since the early days, mining diligently, holding on to hope through delay after delay, this feels like a gut punch. And let's be real, this moment stings more than most. If you've been watching the technical indicators, it's not looking good. One of the clearest signs of trouble. The Chaikin money flow, a respected measure of market strength and investor sentiment, just plummeted to a monthly low. That's not just a number, it's a signal that so-called smart money is exiting the scene. These are the investors who typically see the bigger picture and make moves before the rest of the market catches up. And right now, they're running for the hills. What's even more concerning is that this isn't just a few impatient investors getting cold feet. We're seeing long-time believers, the ones who used to passionately defend Pi on forums and social media, finally deciding enough is enough. When those voices, once so full of hope and determination, start going quiet or even turning negative, it's a sign that sentiment is in freefall. Pi has struggled before, but this feels different. Unlike previous dips, which often came during broader market downturns, this decline is happening while Bitcoin and other major cryptos are holding strong or even gaining momentum. Pi, on the other hand, is moving in the opposite direction, almost like it's on a different planet altogether. That kind of market disconnect is alarming. Every time Pi tries to make a comeback, the pushback from the market seems harsher. Buyers are disappearing. The bounce backs are weaker. And support levels that once seemed solid are now barely holding. The $0.45 support zone, in particular, looks increasingly fragile. One sharp drop and we could be staring down new record lows. If that happens, the psychological impact alone could send even more holders into panic mode. This isn't just about charts or trends anymore. It's about a community that feels abandoned. Many Pi miners have poured not just their time but also their trust into this project. They invited friends, family, and co-workers. They waited through vague updates and long silences, convinced that Pi was building something revolutionary. But now, for the first time, those same people are starting to ask difficult questions. Was it all worth it? Were we misled? Social media, once buzzing with enthusiastic posts about the future of Pi, has gone quiet. Instead of predictions and celebrations, you see doubt. You read confessions from people saying they feel like they've wasted years of their lives believing in a dream that may never come true. The optimism that once fueled this movement is being replaced by regret and confusion. This shift in tone matters more than most people realize. Cryptocurrency is as much about belief as it is about technology. When belief fades, everything else starts to crumble. Engagement drops. Community growth slows. And new users, who are essential for any network's health, begin to look elsewhere. Google search trends for Pi are down. Mentions across platforms have slowed dramatically. It's all pointing in one direction, disinterest. Now, I'm not here to say Pi is finished. But I also won't sugarcoat what's happening. The situation is critical. Technical indicators like the Relative Strength Index are deep in bearish territory. Market sentiment is negative. And perhaps most worrisome, there's no obvious catalyst on the horizon to turn things around. Major exchange listings. We've been hearing rumors for months, but nothing concrete. Game-changing partnerships. Silence. All we have are hopes, and hope alone doesn't move markets. Could Pi surprise us? Sure, it's possible. If the price somehow manages to break above $0.493, we could see a small rally toward $0.518 or beyond. But make no mistake, that would require something significant. Not a minor update or another vague announcement, but a real, tangible leap forward. Something like a big-name exchange listing or a massive adoption breakthrough. But at this point, we can't keep waiting for miracles. If you're a holder, you need to start thinking realistically. What's your strategy if Pi falls further? What will you do if the value drops under 40 cents? These are uncomfortable questions, but asking them now is better than being caught off guard later. At the same time, panic selling out of emotion rarely ends well either. If you've held this long, make sure you're making your decisions based on facts, not just fear. Look at your personal circumstances, your long-term financial goals, and how much you're really willing to risk. Maybe you want to hold and hope for a rebound. Maybe it's time to cut your losses. Either way, don't let the noise dictate your moves. Let reason guide you. As for me, I'm staying level-headed. I'm keeping a close eye on the data, watching the charts, listening to the community, and preparing for both outcomes, a further crash or an unlikely but possible rebound. This isn't the first time I've seen a project teeter on the edge, and while some have vanished, others have bounced back in ways no one expected. And look, I know it's hard. Especially if you're emotionally invested. Especially if you believed in the vision of a decentralized currency mined from your phone, accessible to anyone, anywhere. That idea still has value. But the project itself has to deliver. It has to prove it can survive moments like this, not just technically, but in terms of restoring trust and community spirit. The next few weeks will be critical. If Pi can stabilize, regain some market traction, and show even a hint of forward momentum, maybe, just maybe, it can spark a turnaround. But if we keep seeing silence from the core team, weak price action, and fading community morale, the outlook could get worse before it gets better. So, here's my final take: don't rely on hype. Don't make decisions based on someone promising that Pi will moon any day now. Instead, stay informed. Do your research. Understand the risks and the potential. And most importantly, look after your own financial well-being. Whatever happens next, you're not alone in feeling the weight of this moment. Whether you've been mining Pi for months or years, whether you're hopeful or heartbroken, just know that your experience is shared by thousands of others. And together, we'll see how this chapter unfolds, however it ends.